Everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. It is the 11th. It is the 10th of October. It is Columbus Day in the United States. Some people don't really think Columbus Day is a big deal. I'll leave that up to you. I know some do not support Christopher Columbus. I know some do. So let's just say that the soup kitchen was not open today, so I didn't get a chance to go to lunch. I went to McDonald's to get something to eat today because I'm depressed. And I'm going to tell you why I'm depressed, and I think you'll understand why. But first, let's talk about something that is potentially depressing in other ways. And that is the political behaviors of our two candidates. Now, Hillary Clinton started it first, and so I'm not going to give her any. My cat gonna knock my coffee over. She kind of started it first, and then he kind of did some return jabs. And the Democrats are still up to it. So let's talk about this. I don't want to talk about too much because it depresses me. Okay. NBC found an old tape from 2005 showing that Donald Trump at the time had a mouth that you would expect from many men in the comfort of men. And he did not know that somebody was recording them. And so when the tape finally was pulled out of the archives by some Democrats, endorsed people, they specifically wanted to use it to discredit him and destroy his campaign. Now, a few Republicans did walk away from him, but not everybody did, of course. I didn't. I'm still endorsing Donald Trump. Donald Trump and Alex Jones both mentioned the rape allegations against Bill Clinton. So they said, well, fear and love and war. Well, you guys decided you wanted to start to dig up crap on me, and we go ahead and get more than just some tape against you. Let me go ahead and actually get Paula Jones and a few of the other women who have been raped by Bill Clinton. And I'm surprised they didn't get Monica Lewinsky in there, but okay. Anyway, the point is that by the time they were done, Bill Clinton was exposed on public television for being the creep he was. The woman that Hillary Clinton represented in 1975, which at the time was 12 years old, not much older than me, really. Really, think about it, 1873, holy smokes. Okay, 75, 76, 75. Okay. I was born in 68, so yeah, she was a bit older than me. But then here's the deal. She, not by much though. Because, I think it was about 8 years. You were 8 years in 75. Seven, okay. But let's get back to the story. Okay. So, she unfortunately got a chance to revisit, if you will, the accused defense attorney, which obviously shook Hillary Clinton quite a bit, really, because even though she didn't show, she tried. Let's be honest with you. If I were to compare to characters on movie shows and TV shows I know, she is more like Rumpelstiltskin than the evil Queen Regina. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because the evil Queen Regina may rip out hearts, and she may poison people. What Rumpelstiltskin does is a lot more significant damage to the people by making deals with them that causes irreparable damage to their personality. And in case one character, he turned for a while Captain Hook into an automaton, basically saying is, you do what I tell you or I'm going to crush your heart. Okay, well, this is what Hillary Clinton's doing. Okay, same thing. Let's put it this way. I'd rather have Regina, the evil queen, as a Democratic candidate than Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, that's a fact. At least the evil queen, I can understand from having tasted evil a few years ago. And like I said once before, I don't want to go through that ever again. Thank you very much. Tasting evil was enough to really totally make me firmly, strongly believe that we need to focus on good behavior, good things. Unfortunately enough, as now the Democrats now done, their next punch is to trump up fake rape allegations against Donald Trump. They have assembled a court case which is totally based on lies and false evidence against Donald Trump. Remember, the Bible says, thou shalt not bear thy false witness against thy neighbor. Well, that's exactly what they're doing. Because they're crooked anyway. They're evil. They're called Democrats. Okay? They're not Democrats. They're Democrats. They work for the devil. Unfortunately, there are some Republicans that are involved with it too. But really, there's some closet Democrats on the Republican side as well. There's also a lot of good, wholesome people on the Democrat side who have unfortunately kind of got suckered in, and they don't know what to do now. They don't want to support Hillary. They don't want to support her. They'd rather support Sanders. Bernie Sanders was a decent guy overall. Okay, yeah, he had issues. He was an open socialist, which is fine. At least he's not trying to deceive the American people and saying he doesn't support socialism. There is things about socialism that could be good. But unfortunately, as we saw in the Soviet Union, socialism also means that, well, putting it mildly, is it doesn't give any kind of reward for good work or good effort, because it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're still getting the same amount of money anyway. Okay? And of course, if you do wrong, you end up in the gulags, and everybody knows that. Siberia is the most famous, but it's not the only one. But what's going on here is Hillary Clinton, as Donald Trump pointed out, when she was racing against Barack Obama, she lost fair and square. Yet, in this year's election, she has caused so much memorable damage to Bernie Sanders by lies, deception, underhanded tactics. As I said, very much like Rumpelstiltskin. Very much the same kind of double-crossing behaviors that Rumpelstiltskin does on Once Upon a Time, she's doing for real. And for those of us who know what is real evil, knows that she is definitely a daughter of the devil, because of the fact is, oh yeah, did you see greasy facial expression? It reminded me just like Rumpelstiltskin too, when he's Mr. Gold the pawn shop. He's got something he wants. He knows you got it, and he's like, let's make a deal. You don't make a deal with Rumpelstiltskin. And you don't make a deal with Hillary Clinton. Because she's like the Rumpelstiltskin you see in the past shots with this greasy complexion, right? Oilier than a piece of deep fried chicken or greasy French fries. Okay, I gotta admit, I had greasy chicken last night, unfortunately, so my stomach kind of got upset with that. But yeah, that's where the comparison came up from. Okay, it's from eating that greasy oven baked chicken, and it was like, ugh. I don't like eating oven baked chicken anyway. I don't like eating chicken at all because it really affects me in a bad way. But here's the thing: was this person was trying to act like everything Donald Trump was saying was not having impact. She backed up onto her chair. She put on her evil face, and she tried to basically lie her way out of a hole. Okay? That's not the kind of president I want. I want a president who is at least doing their best to be honest. First of all, Donald Trump apologized for the lewd tape. Okay? He made a public apology. I forgave Donald Trump. He's a human being, okay? He didn't, maybe it wasn't smart, but you know what? It was in some ways that was just plain downright nasty of Access Hollywood to not warn him that they were running the tape machine at the same time he's riding on the bus. With Bill Bush. Okay? Now, when you got people doing stuff like that, talking trash talk, okay, I hear it a lot of times when I was in kids' school, okay? Of course they do it as adults too. Why not? You know? Kids are going to be kids, boys are still going to be boys, and girls do the same thing in the ladies' room. Trust me, I've heard it plenty of times. Okay, not as much, but as to Ben, I hear have said a lot more. But the point is these people on the Democrats and some Republicans do not want an honest Donald, and he is honest. Okay, he's not perfect. But look, he didn't lie about some of the stuff he said when she accused him of taking advantage of a tax loophole. He was outright on. He said, yes, I did. Yes, I did. He didn't say, well, I don't want to discuss that. He said, no, I did take advantage of a tax loophole. I had to. It was either that or pay a huge amount of taxes. I didn't have the resources to pay at the time because I was making a tax loss. You know, if the table was turned and it was Hillary Clinton being asked the same thing, she'd probably say, I don't want to discuss it. Or, no, I did not take advantage of a tax loophole. Even though she would be outed as confirmed that she did take advantage of an IRS tax loophole. The point is he was an honest guy. He's a good guy. So, do you might think this is stupid. I don't mean to be stupid. I watch his videos and I fall asleep at night. Not because they're boring, but because they're comforting. It's like a bedtime story for me. It's like I can turn the phone on onto one of his speeches, 45 minutes long, hour long, right? Usually, halfway through the speech, I'm sleeping. Because it feels so good. You know, it's comforting to me to hear that I'm supporting a candidate who is saying things that, for the most part, gel with my psyche. That's what I need. I gotta know a lot of stress every day. I've been put through a lot in the last few months. Okay? Now let's talk about that. And I didn't want to go into it too long because I want to focus on Donald Trump first. And that's what I did. So let me focus a little bit on that. Okay? Now, I applied for renters rebate in June. Okay? I knew it was going to be October. I didn't know when exactly in October because the applicant processor couldn't give me an exact date. She said usually around the middle of the month of October. Sometimes later. Okay, fine. I figured for the middle of the month. And I was, in my word letter, says I'm eligible for $700. Okay? So from July, August, September, part of October now, I am struggling on pins and needles. and then I bought the eye drops for my eyes. I thought, well, maybe I could at least get my eyesight back on top notch. Someone stole my eye drops. Let me tell you something, how that makes me feel. I am pissed, honestly, because of that. Because the fact is, and I remember now, it's not the first time this happened. I contacted the seller. He says, well, I can sell you another box for half off. Which, if you think about it, I don't think it's necessarily unfair. It's just, like I said to him in a letter, I said, but I need the stuff right away. I spent the last of my extra money to buy the box that I was going to get in the first place. And that's the truth. So anyway, I went downstairs today and I took a look at the mailbox, my mailbox, to see how I could try to put a lock on it. The mailbox is really small. It's not very large. And so I took a look at what the choices were. Now I can buy one of the larger mailboxes like the ones downstairs. And there's a couple different colors. Okay. My mailbox is one of the originals that was put in God knows when. I have no idea when it was put in. But it was put in a long time ago. And so one of the things was, I said to myself is, gee, I need a new mailbox. I didn't really need a mailbox that's bigger than what I got. This thing is too puny. I said, even if I can mount a lock and hasp on it, it's still going to be too small. And what's going to stop the postal worker from doing the same thing and throwing my package on the steps again? Nothing. So I said to myself Michelle, you gotta get a bigger mailbox. And so I looked on eBay and I found a few, including ones that are similar to the ones that are already down there. There's a black one and a slightly brown one. And I didn't want to go for black, and I wasn't exactly interested in brown either. So I saw another mailbox from the same general manufacturer from China. Well, that isn't made in China these days, honestly. For from an American seller with free shipping, I found a $35 box that's white with a silver emblem that sticks on the front. Okay? And I said to myself, white? I don't really know if I want white. I don't even know if I need the lock on it. Since obviously, I would be beneficial to have a lock, because at least that way the postal worker hopefully will lock it when she's done depositing the mail and small parcels in there, instead of leaving the thing wide open for crooks to go put their hands in and take this stuff. It's just that right now I only got, because of the fact that the renter's rebate is going to be at least 10 days later, almost 2 weeks later than expected, that we are going to be having to tell all the bill collectors that we can't pay them on a timely manner. And that really upsets me, because I was hoping so much to get the bills paid off and keeping a good standing with these companies. And I can't do anything about it. And that's what stressed me out. On top of that, because of that, over the last few months, my weight has been and uncertainty issues. Some days I feel thinner, some days I feel fatter. Right now I feel like very fat. I never was skinny anyway, even as a child. I never was skinny. Okay, so, but I'm just trying to say is that I just really kind of wish that I had people to talk to, friends, family, confidants, whatever. I don't have that. So, unlike many in my situation, I haven't turned to drugs or alcohol or cigarettes. Unfortunately, I turned to food. And I confess my sins of eating. I have suffered under so much in the last few months. Today, I was so emotionally depressed, I just slept all day. I got up around 9 o'clock at night. And I'm going to be up now for a few hours until after I meet with my case manager at the soup kitchen today. Because it'll be today by the time you get this tape. It'll be Tuesday. Okay, because it's going to take a while to render it, process it, and get it out the door. That's just the way it works. But what is not easier is the fact is that Dory has been here a few times this week. And I kind of wish she was here more often. But she has responsibilities too. I can't expect her to be there 24/7. That's not going to happen. So I'm at just feeling kind of like the blah, just don't feel like anything really. Actually, I kind of feel kind of numb emotionally. Are they going to still cut the check from $700 to $350? I don't know. The people at the senior center didn't know. That's what the processing person is. So, unfortunately, I can't say. I'm going to say this much. I want to make it right and try to be a good example to everybody. Because remember, Donald Trump just got raked over the coals over an 11-year-old tape. And that was a sneaky underhand, sly rat move, right? Well, these videos, if I ever do manage to become governor, it will be easily accessible to anybody on YouTube. So I like to live by my actions. And I like to live a wholesome life. But that doesn't make it any less difficult to have to watch everything going on around me and saying it's not fair. You know what? It's not. But what in life is fair? I'm going to be 49 years old next year in February. Okay? If I don't know how many more years I've got on this planet, but given the typical lifespan of most of the family members in my family, I could be around for, until I'm 90 years old. I could be around, I could be a centurion. I don't know. Or maybe I won't be so lucky. Maybe I might die at 70. That's one thing I don't have any clue of what's going to happen to me. No more than anyone else does. But I want to set a good example to everybody. It's the most important thing to me is integrity, and honesty. So I'm going to continue to focus on that. But that means admitting honestly if I'm hurting emotionally or physically. I have done so much for the community at large. I mean, I do videos at the soup kitchen. I advocate for the down and out and those who need assistance. I do my best to provide support. And I'm not much better than any of you. I'm just still struggling. But I do that because I want to share. It may sound kind of anti-hedonistic in this day and age. Okay? I want to share because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that makes me happy. And right now, I really, really don't feel too happy at this point. Sure, you might say, well, it's only a box of eye drops. Right? Well, it's only a box of eye drops, but my eyes are like everybody else's eyes. It's a precious resource. And I need to do my best to keep my vision as best it can be. We don't live in a tactile world. Okay? I can't always guarantee that I can feel my way around. Okay? Modern cell phones, for example, are losing their buttons big time. Take the iPhone 7. It doesn't even have a physical home button anymore. Eventually the day's going to come when phones are not even going to have a power button. I haven't seen that yet on phones, but I have seen it on consumer electronics, where, including microwave ovens, where, yeah, they know they're always technically powered up, but, there's no physical way to know what you're pressing. And talking to the people I know who are handicapped, that's an issue. That's an issue. So I'm asking all the people of the world to have a little empathy for those of us who go out there and do our best we can to tell you the truth and are the defender of truth. I'm not saying that that everybody in the world is going to be totally pure wholesome. I wish that could be, but we know, me and Lemmy both know that's not the case. No. And that's the sad truth, because like Michelle said, Michelle, your cat's knocking everything off the table again. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay. There's no doubt about it that this world is full of rotten people that are not honest and forthright. And that's true. And sometimes people forget that there are some people in this world who really truly live their lives as best they can to be true and genuine. And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you may not believe that because you've been told that it's too good to be true. MicheleMarieDalene is one of those people. She may not have always been that perfect. She's struggled like everybody else. But for the most part, since she was 20 years old, she has said, I'm going to change the way things are for the better. I'm going to change my view. I'm going to change my life. And that's what she did. And she's worked on it ever since. And I think Michelle's doing a wonderful job. Thanks. Welcome. It's too bad that the cynics in the world doesn't say that can happen. But the truth is there are some people just like Michelle. Okay, so Donald Trump made a mistake, for example. But you know what? Jesus said, the woman that was being accused of adultery, let thou who hast not sinned cast the first stone. And the Pharisees and the Sadducees realized they couldn't, so they walked away. And the woman says to Jesus, she says, Rabbi. And he asked her, he said, where did they all go? They said, Rabbi, they all left. She said, what do you want me to do? He said, I forgive you for your behaviors, just don't do it anymore. The point is that he could have cast the first stone because he was free of sin. But he didn't choose to do that. He chose to forgive. Just as, a lot of honest, God, respecting. I won't use the term fearing, because that's, to me, I hear the word fearing. It seems to be very different than this. When I say respect, people who respect Father and Mother God, okay, sometimes forget that even our politicians are just as much like us too. They're human beings and they fail, but the difference is unlike Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump made a public confession for his sin. And Michelle has done everything she could to reach out to him and all of her mass media streams and said, I have forgiven you. Because she could see he was trying to be sincere. Now, I hope, Michelle, that at the end of this election that he does win. And I hope to God that eventually we'll never have to see any more mudslinging like this at any election. It's disgusting. You got that right. I gotta be honest, I really would love to have heard the audience's questions last night. I really would have loved to hear the audience's questions. Just like the commentator said. I would love to have heard the questions, but I think what Donald Trump said was just as important. Could I please ask the Democrats, please stop with the terrible behaviors and just let us hear the questions, okay? Please. You're making a jackass out of your own candidate by your behavior. You're not helping. You have got to understand, American people were more than willing to talk about the issues if you let them discuss the issues. I think that the 2-minute timeline limit is just kind of short. I think so too, but that's not the point. The Democrats deliberately created this bullshit because they didn't want to answer the questions. That's the truth, I believe. They didn't want to answer the questions the audience had. They knew that they would trigger Donald Trump. Donald Trump got upset. I would too. I'd be steaming. Instead, if you kept your at least some sense of decency, and if it let him answer and let Hillary Clinton answer the questions that people asked or wanted to ask, maybe, just maybe, the people can make a decision based on the answers. That's why we came there for. Now, if we're going to have a cage match between the two, equivalent of a cage match like they do in the WWF, right? Or WWE is just called today, right? Or one of the AWA or whatever. That's fine. Okay? You put two benches in a steel cage, basically give up both a pair of boxing gloves, and tell each other, if you don't want to discuss it, pound the other one. That's fine. But I don't think Hillary Clinton is physically capable of being, in a match like that. Wouldn't even suggest it. I mean, maybe some sports promoter might. I would watch it, but I got a feeling that, given what Donald Trump did to Harry Reid's I don't think it would take too much work for Donald Trump to take a woman that is at least 1.5 feet shorter than he is and basically turn her into mincemeat. That's not what we need either. What we need is, okay, if you're going to have rebuttals, let's have a place where we can have that. By the way, I am very happy that Donald Trump at least said some good things about Hillary Clinton. First of all, that he said that she's a fighter. Yes, she is. So was Rumpelstiltskin. You think that Mr. Gold is going to let someone walk away with what he wants? Of course not. But the difference is that she said some nice things about his kids. What about nice things about the guy himself? I mean, I think Donald Trump is pretty smart. He's pretty savvy. He certainly is a good man overall. Okay, so he's not perfect, but who is? Really? Who is? Exactly. The next debate, I believe, is going to be on the 19th. Yeah, 10 days. 10 days. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's hope to God that this debate is going to be one where at least somebody is going to be able to answer. Actually, I really want to hear both candidates answer the public's questions. Okay? Most important thing, I want to hear the questions answered. Donald Trump is a smart guy. I'm going to give him credit for that. He's smart. He knew that in order for him to defend his title, he had to get down and dirty and fight dirty. Just like Yosemite Sam says. And I'm going to fight my way. Dirty. That's more like Hillary Clinton for you. Yeah, that's true. It's more like Hillary Clinton. But we didn't have a choice, okay? Is either fight dirty or go home. Donald Trump isn't going to do that. He worked hard to get here. He's going to stand behind the truth. All right, so I think we've talked enough about that. And what about the newest allegations about the rape charges against Donald Trump? Totally false. Not even based on real names or real victims or anything. I still can't understand how a supposed to be sexual predator named Epstein can have his own private airplane. Well, you know what? When you get to be rich like Epstein is, it makes a lot of sense. You know, you can buy your way out of a jam. The kind of things that most people in the world would be forever tarnished. Epstein is no better than that. But you know, the thing is that I want to talk to you about. See what you think of this. What do you think about what's going on with saber raising or rattling by the U.S. Department of Defense, Chiefs of Defense, or whatever you call it, or the Pentagon, from AUSA.org. The guy Millie, I think that's what his name is. I think he's stupid because he's going to get us killed. We're not ready to go up against anybody. I think that's just plain stupid to threaten anybody. Russia, China, of course North Korea. We probably could defeat North Korea if we had a full armament, but we are so depleted militarily wise that this country cannot defeat North Korea. We don't have resources. Yeah. And I think that it would be much better to work with our good partners, our friends. And I consider Vladimir Putin a friend because, look, we're both fighting the same basic enemy. He's on the side of Assad, and unfortunately we have chosen to be on the side of the rebels, which in essence puts us on the side of ISIS. I think that it's disgusting to think that we've done that to each other in this country. And I think we need to reevaluate our way of thinking about things, the solution in the world, and everything else. I think you're right. Also, I've given this guy his wrong name in one of my last videos. I didn't mean to say it wrong. I just want to make sure I forget. I said Nikhil Farage. I should have said Nigel Farage from UKIP. Nigel Farage supports the position that Donald Trump is supporting. And for similar reasons, that the UK was being overrun by migrants from the EU, and of course Brussels was regulating everything that the Britain was doing, including limiting fishing and upon its own waters. So there's now Theresa May has said that she's going to start in late March. She's going to activate Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty. And so there's some concern because some would really kind of want to continue to remain part of the EU trading partnership while still maintaining their sovereignty. Well, okay. That can be discussed. I don't see why you couldn't discuss that. But it seems that Brussels is wanting to say it's all or nothing proposition. And I think that's not fair to the people of the United Kingdom to have to give up their sovereignty of home rule for something which they don't really believe in. You see, the funny thing in a way is what the UK is going through right now is very much what the U.S. colonies, when they were under control of England, the 13 colonies, went through. Okay? That is, they didn't have home rule. They couldn't rule their own selves. They had all the orders for their policies for their country, or the colonies, were passed down through the governors. And the governors would get the instructions from Westminster. And that meant that there really was no open speech about what was being decided by Westminster at the House of Lords and House of Commons. So there was a lot of people felt that they weren't getting fairly represented. Well, guess what? The King George III, is still go ahead, and he's still always increasing the taxes and increasing the subsidies that the colonies have to pay to, London. And that was very, very painful. So obviously a few people, the loyalists, the equivalent of the, I guess you can call it the equivalent of the UKIP. I wouldn't call it UKIP because it obviously had nothing to do with the UK. It would be more like Colonial Independence Party, or CIP. Okay, wanted to establish their own sovereign country, a home rule on their own soil, and that's what they did. Well, flash forward to 2016, and you're seeing the equivalent happening all over again, even here in the U.S., as Barack Obama is still trying to cede control of America to the United Nations. Now, that's kind of stupid because the United Nations is much worse than the British Isles. The British Empire was certainly a lot less oppressive than the United Nations policies have become. So, if anything, this is like Donald Trump is like when the early, kind of renew of the Colonial Independence Party, if you will, the CIP. Now saying, heck no, we don't want that. We want to maintain our U.S. Constitution. We want to maintain our sovereign nation status, and we want to maintain our own border control, and we want to maintain our own home rule. We don't want the United Nations to take control of us. We don't want that. It goes against everything that this country is based upon. And he's right. So the point is that's why he says this is the most important and possibly the last election that we could ever have actually keep our independence. Because there's actions in motion right now to dismember the U.S. government and the U.S. Congress and be more like, in the end, it has been for the Parliament in Westminster, in London. It's going to become more of a puppet Congress, whereas the United Nations is going to tell it what it wants done, and they have no choice because they have no mouth, because they've taken all the teeth out, and they have basically haven't even given them false teeth to replace. The fact of the matter is that's the same thing that the United Nations today wants to do to the American people. And the UK and on June 23rd said no more. We're not going to do it. And then the Brexit vote. And November 8th, it's going to be our Brexit vote. Our chance to break away from the tyrannical one world government, the progressive movement that both Barack Obama and Hillary Rotten Clinton are trying to force down people's throat. We don't need that. Okay? We need to make sure to protect our sovereign nation status. That's not going to be easy. After this year, it's over. Because so many things are going to go into effect, as I said, that's going to dismember the United States Congress. The United States government will become nothing more than a shadow puppet of its former self. Donald Trump is telling you the truth. This is the last time. There is no more times after this. This is not like one of those, situation comedies or dramas where there's a happy ending. The only happy ending is going to be when the American people, when they go into the polls, vote specifically for Donald Trump and say, no, we're not going to support the tyrannical policies of the one world order and the progressive movement. If we don't do that, it's over. And then I have to decide what I'm going to do next with my remaining years. I'm not really sure what I would do. Maybe I can go ahead and get refugee status and go to England. But they're struggling too, so I don't think they want me. But I can't stay in a country like this. because of another reason. Vladimir Putin is upset with Hillary Clinton's policies and Barack Obama's policies. And they already drew, both the Republican Russians and the U.S. government drawing the lines in the sand, saying, cross this line, we're going to pound you to bits. And that's scary stuff. I'm not going to rehash it and say any more about that. So, I don't know where I'd go if Hillary Clinton wins. I don't know. Okay. Well, we got a few more weeks. Get out there and tell your friends the truth of what's going on. Watch Alex Jones on Infowars.com for more information. Watch BP Earthwatch from other sources. Watch Lisa Haven from all resources. You need to go into this with knowledge. And with knowledge, you can make a responsible decision. And that's the most important thing you got to do. Because things are pretty scary right now. And I'm thinking it's scary enough to realize that I might potentially realize I can't pay my bills in the end of the month of October. This could mean that more. Is that much more serious, because if things get bad enough, there won't be any need to worry about my bill collectors, because they'll be all nice and crispy, golden brown, like burnt toast. That's scary enough. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, grapes, kudos, whatever, information is at the end of the video, as well as there's a comment section below here. You can always leave a message. I will get to it. I will read them. I may not always reply to them right away, especially if they're questions I have to think about before I can answer. Because I'm not truly perfect either. But I will do my best to answer your questions. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for watching this. And keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Keep your mind open. That's all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.